Yep, there we go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm so excited to be able to present to you our speaker. Kezia Love is from Fond du Lac. She is the CEO and founder of Healing Scars and Audacious Healing. She's an expert in childhood trauma, overcoming adversity, and connecting to the human spirit. Please join me in welcoming Kezia Love.
Thank you. Thank you. Am I on? Do I turn this one on? I'm on.
You got it?
So, yeah. Hello, testing.
Can you hear her?
Is this green? Yep, that's green. Okay. I think I'm echoing off of that. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. I think I'm on. I talk loud. What y'all think? Kind of good? Okay. All right. Where my class clowns at? Did y'all do that in high school? Right? Y'all incoming freshmen, right? So I'm class of 2000. Okay, I got my class clown here. I was class clown, always clowning, always doing stuff, right? So when in our yearbook, we did class clown, most likely to succeed. Did y'all have that? Okay, most likely to succeed, most likely to drop out type of deals. We made it fun when I graduated. So I just want to welcome you all. I know what it's like to be in this space, right? I went to UW-La Crosse right after high school. I said to myself, I didn't want to be too far from home. I didn't want to be too close to home. So La Crosse was like in the middle for me. I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I've been in Fond du Lac going on almost 10 years now. So I just want to know, some people in the room that are brave, what made you, if you are not from Fond du Lac, what made you come here? What made you come here? Any brave souls? Uh-oh, somebody, what? Oh, my friend, class clown, what's up?
Volleyball.
Volleyball, okay. Where are you from?
Hawaii.
Hawaii, wow. Anybody else? Yes.
Hockey.
Say,
Hockey.
hockey, okay, so some sports, okay. Fond du Lac is definitely known. I know our football is great. What else? Who else? Anybody else? Yes. Academics, yeah. Marian is a great university. I do a lot of connecting here. Some of the high schoolers come here for the Upward Bound program, and I do a lot of speaking and integrating with those individuals. Today, I am here to talk to you all about belonging, connection, inclusion, and who are you becoming while you are here. Okay, so from Milwaukee, predominantly great variety of individuals in my community. Going to UW-La Crosse, when I went in, it was a big auditorium, and I didn't see a lot of people that looked like me. So I began to get a little discouraged. I began to ask questions. Do I fit in here? Do I belong? Right? Did I make the right decision? And I know some of you, these questions might have come up, right? And I want you to just think about what makes those questions come up, and what is it about yourselves that make you go, at times. So I, at UW-La Crosse, had to stay in the dorm. So UW-La Crosse, back in my day, as an incoming freshman, they required you to live on campus. I was in an all-female dorm. My roommate, she just did not like me. We did not look alike. I didn't feel like I belonged. I must say that I was a mother at 18 years of age, so I also had to leave my son behind and go off to college. college, right? So I was a statistic in high school, but with a baby, I actually graduated at the top 10 of my class, 4.0, and I beat all statistics that they said that I would become, and even my son. That son right now today is 25 years old, and he just did 6 years in the Air Force and now went reserve. He's been married for 6 years and got 2 children. I'm a grandma of 3. My daughter, who is 21, just had her firstborn son. I am 43 years of age, and I continue to break down barriers. And that is one thing that I'm going to talk to you all about today, is breaking down some of those barriers. Don't allow your circumstance and who you are in your past to dictate the outcome of your future, right? All right. So, again, a little bit about me. Yes, CEO and founder of Healing Scars. I would say I wear a lot of hats, but one of the things is in this community, when you don't think that people are watching you, they're watching you. And one of the things, I kind of sit back, I do my own thing. My biggest thing is law enforcement. 10 years in law enforcement, started as corrections. But while I've been out here working in the community of Fond du Lac, I was awarded the Woman of Achievement in 2022. I believe that was, Power of the Purse 2022 here in Fond du Lac. It was an achievement. I was nominated, but it goes to show that my good works did not go unseen. And that's another seed that I leave here today for you all, is recognizing that your seeds will not go unnoticed when you're putting them on good ground. Someone that graduated said, you cannot do it alone. Right? Know that y'all can't do this alone. Be open to collaboration. Find a group of people who challenge and inspire you. Spend a lot of time with them, and it would change your life. So I have come from a lot of adversities. Anybody in the room fit in that category? Have overcome a lot. Right? Right. I noticed that sometimes we're reluctant to talk about the things that were painful for us because sometimes we feel like people won't relate. I could have died and no one would have known my story. But in reality, I died and was revived, and now I speak and tell my story. So I speak now, I'll forever hold my peace, but I speak, and it's all for His glory. See, I was revived out of the thoughts of suicide. Pain so deep, felt like I was on the cross being crucified. Couldn't speak, my head hung down, my body paralyzed. I became a prisoner in my own body. I kept things bottled in. Living in fears became a sin so deep, hard to sleep better throughout the week. But if I could just break free, if I could just break free, if I could just break free, a virtuous woman I knew I could be, I could have died. And as you develop yourself here today, I want you to think about some of the people that you are sitting next to that might have a story that mirrors mine. To always remind yourself to do some check-ins, because you just never know. And it took everything in me, right, to break down barriers and to continue to pursue my dreams. So when y'all were all in high school, who knew you were going right off to college? Raise up hands. All right. Yeah. Was it a push? Did you have friends and family that pushed you to do and make that decision? Yeah, I see a lot of heads saying, yep. So what if you didn't have the push? Do any of y'all believe you probably wouldn't be sitting in this room today? Show of hands. Yeah, I love the bravery, right? If someone brave that raised their hand, what do you think you would be doing? You want to be brave? I saw you raise your hand, someone over here. Probably just working. We don't know, right? We might be at home watching Netflix, you know? So I just want you to also think about, If there's moments where you need a break, we're going to talk about all those things where you're feeling like I might just don't fit in. I feel like giving up. I want you to think about your why on today. So question, have you ever made someone feel as if they did not belong? Somebody going to be brave? All right. Have you ever been the person that other people made feel like you didn't belong? My college roommate made me feel like that every day. Every day. She was so mean and we didn't even know each other. Moved in, she wouldn't even talk to me. I'm gonna tell y'all a little story. When I went to UW La Crosse, we had a clock tower dance. You all kind of get together. If you've ever been to La Crosse campus, it's a clock tower there. And you just kind of all get there. But I remember being a girl, I had braids in my hair, but I had a lot of people that didn't look like me came up to me and said, "You're the first black person I ever seen in the flesh." People asked, could they touch my hair? Now back then, we didn't really have all the hate. We was really open and receptive. And where I'm from, I'm open. I love when people are honest. I didn't think they were bluffing. People were like, the closest I've ever saw a black person was on TV or magazines. And I literally spent time talking to them. I'm going to get a little bit more into that, where we make people feel included, but also times it's our job to help and teach and educate other people as well. One thing that I respected was people asked, could they touch my hair? People were bold to say, look, I ain't never seen color a day in my life. Keep in mind, this is 2000. All right? I remember being in college when 9/11 happened as well. So we're going to talk about sense of belonging, the experience of personal involvement in a system or an environment, so that persons feel themselves to be an integral part of a system or an environment. A sense of belonging. Sense of belonging. Who are you? Who are you becoming? And are you all making each other feel like you belong here? Are you able to step out some of your norms and take risk and sit next to people or talk to people that you've never had conversations about? Taking risks. So when you think about here, okay, the sense of belonging, let's just use, okay, college. All right, there's different levels and contexts to ways in which we might hear and think of sense of belonging, right? Belonging is different to a lot of people. What do you think about when you hear belonging? It could be one word. Acceptance. My Hawaii friend, what's up?
Family.
Family, sense of belonging. How about you?
Feeling like you're not an outsider.
Feeling like you're not an outsider. I wonder how many people felt like that coming in. Right? That question I asked before, have you ever been the person that made somebody feel like they didn't belong? Think about the many times you probably went to the cafeteria and saw somebody sitting by themselves and you never took the risk or the time to just say, hey, did you want to join our table? It makes a difference on individuals. So I remember being at that clock tower and I said, you know what, I'm just going to stand on this bench. And I'm hoping that somebody will see me. I'm hoping that I see my people, right? And somebody really just come and save me. Right? I didn't want to feel like that outsider. I had a car at that time. I said I would get on this highway and leave. And just as I was saying, you know what, I'm done with this, anxiety started coming up. I started thinking about a lot of the things that I had overcome. And I remember these people tugging on me and saying, hey, hey, come over here, join our group. And it was a mixture of different people, of backgrounds. And listen, we are all still best friends to this day. One of the girls is Latay Jervis. And she's been my ride or die since 2000. She's my best friend. We've been friends for 26 years. And I have another best friend, Natasha Broxton. Me and her been friends since middle school, and we got 29 years under our belt. The sense of belonging is important. The connections that you make here are important. When you also think about sense of belonging college, do I connect to my major? Do I connect to my teachers? Do I connect to my advisors? It's really important, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. So, sense of belonging here in college. Student perceives social support on campus, a feeling of sensation of connectedness, the experience of mattering or feeling cared about, accepted, respected, valued, and important to the group, such as your campus or others like your faculty and peers. How many of y'all are feeling really connected to your faculty? Show of hands. Good, good. Oftentimes, I grew up with the slogan, closed mouths don't get fed. And if you are feeling a disconnect from faculty or even your peers, it's good to say, this is what I need from you. I might need to check in a lot more than often. What are your hours that you can be available? So don't be afraid to advocate for yourself. So mental health, we think about anxiety and college and you all. How many of y'all came in with the anxiety? Yes, 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 yes. Anxiety is real, right? Anxiety is real. I've learned, I'm a psychotherapist now, left law enforcement, and I sit with clients every day with more depression, anxiety, PTSD, but the anxiety is a number one thing that shows up in a lot of people's lives, whether it's phobias or, worried about certain things that are happening in their lives. So I'll just remind you all that anxiety is common. Talk about it. Find coping strategies to help you deal with that. What are some thinking strategies, action strategies that you can use? Always talk about it and take time for yourself. Have you ever been in a place where you continue to hold on to pride? So much so that you can't feel the affliction because you were trying to be the physician prescribing your own prescriptions for your unhealthy addictions. And pride sometimes allows us to stumble, to think about giving up when it only took for us to be humble. And I wonder what it would feel like if you were to let go and connect. If you were to let go and become. If you were to let go and feel included. I wonder what that would feel like. I've learned that sometimes our pride can get in the way. Sometimes our anxieties can get in the way of us achieving, becoming, and allowing other people to feel included. So as you sit here today, and I know y'all are all leaving and y'all going on a break, I really want this to simmer and marinate. And just think about, as y'all leave for break and you come back, what will be different that you're not doing now, but really thinking about including others, becoming the best version of yourselves, right? And then also thinking about, how do we connect and stay connected? Sense of college belonging is important right? So even we're thinking about this, okay, we got degrees we're gonna be meeting, right? We're thinking about graduation that's gonna be coming, and our psychological well-being. How are we doing up here? Don't allow the homework and other people's achievements to get you overwhelmed and to knock you off your square and the reason why you chose to be here at Marian University. So overcoming barriers, we all have to do this. How many of y'all still got walls built up? You guard it. Yes, right away. Right? And it's okay, right? I see a lot of shirts. Y'all be seeing them shirts that say, I got trust issues. Like, I'm like, why do people, as a therapist, I just don't connect because I'm teaching people to do the opposite of being able to lean into discomfort, right? Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. But I still get it because I talk about boundaries. Right? We got to have boundaries. So the trust issues is I see it a lot. But as you begin to connect with people, those trust issues, those walls begin to go down. So identify and address obstacles that prevent meaningful connections in college. What's preventing you from really connecting? Think about that. Are you scared? Right? Some people just aren't social. Some people hear all about their academics, like, man, bump all that, I'm here to get out, finna go. I understand, been there, done that, but what is your superpower? So, once I connected to these individuals at UW-La Crosse, again, I told y'all we were all from diverse backgrounds. And when we connected, we all shared the same story. We felt like we didn't belong. So I'm like, wow, it's just not me. It's not me. I know I was like homesick. A lot of that played into it. Keep in mind, I had a son. What I love about UW-La Crosse, do y'all know they had like family day? So my son was able to come up and live in the dorms with me and got free childcare when I went to my class. So I thought, didn't know that when I chose it. But just like how everything started to orchestrate when I wanted to give up. And so I didn't know that. So when my son's birthday come, you got people from high school and you got people from college that literally saw my son grow up. So it's just beautiful. So what we did, I don't much know about the organizations here in Marian, okay? So I want you to think about, we had Black Student Unity, other different unity groups, and what we all did from all these different organizations, like the Latinos, the Asians, we ended up creating a dance group. It was our release from anxiety, how we were feeling about giving up, and the campus allowed us to use space there and create a dance group on campus. I was one of the choreographers, somebody else, and we had performances and everything. Something that this university never did, but again, we advocated. We talked about the reason why, right? And it wasn't even us really going. We were just doing this without permission, and the word of mouth began to speak, and we actually had faculty find us. And it became a thing while I was in college. Remember, what is your superpower? What are y'all creating here that will probably make Marian even better and a better stay for you? So connection. As you all leave here today, these are some of the things that I want you to think about, having a new perspective in mind. So I want you to go back to the definition of self-belonging. Think about what that means for you. Be mindful of names and pronouns and identities. It was different back then. I think about politics now. Let's just say, okay, we're talking about the, elections that just happened. So let's just say I was for Trump. My homegirls and people were for Harris. If I was for Trump and Trump won, my people over here that was for Harris, like, man, you won, because I guess we with you. Now there's so much hate. We used to just join who won, and we can't even talk about those things now. I want you to be able to take those risks and just talk about diversity, identity. Who are you? Right? It doesn't make up who we truly are as far as the negative and bad stuff. Now we're connecting that. Oh, you voted for this person? I can't talk to you. It was never like that when I was growing up. It was never like that. So another thing is engage with your classmates. Discuss assignments and homework. I did that a lot. Because listen, I was struggling, man. I don't even know why I went to college, because I struggled in high school. Who struggled in high school? I was good. I was a 4.0, but I promise y'all, it took a lot for me. It took a lot because I struggled with comprehension sometimes, math, Spanish. Yeah, I had somebody helping me with answers and stuff. I ain't the only one. Right? I mean, it's a struggle, but back then, people knew, because I got you, I'm going to help you before class. It was like that, connecting. Be transparent about your expectations, right? Don't let that go under the bridge. I expect this from my faculty, my teachers, right? When it comes to your friends, what do you expect from them? Okay? Ask for feedback, important, and man, always give props. I'm a props type of person, because sometimes, again, you never know the person that you're sitting next to was probably that kid whose parents and friends said you will never be nothing. You will be just like your mom, you will be just like your dad. Give up. But always check in. Always check in. So, as we sit here, right, how many people just didn't feel included? Show of hands. I see them going up, right? I wonder what their story is of what made them not feel included. Being able to be included is really even about our community. Y'all are in a great place. Fond du Lac is a place of community. But think about what's outside of these walls and what you can do also to be included outside of college. And those connections that you would make outside that would be able to help those people then connect to here. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So fostering relationships that promote trust and collaboration among your peers. Culture awareness. Again, I did an interview with a Hmong person in the community. This was back in the day. And during my presentation, I learned a lot, especially about like their subgroups. But I ended up going and buying their clothing. In my presentation, I wore their clothing while I presented it. And I also asked them to help me learn how to cook their food, and I brought that food to college and also handed it out, dished it out for people to connect. So I had went above and beyond for my presentation. So just be open to cultural awareness and learning about other people, okay, and where they come from. And then it's access for all of us. Remember that. Providing equal chances for participation in campus activities. Keep in mind, I said we created something on our campus at UW-La Crosse. And so think about what's missing here and what you all can do together to make things happen here. Inclusion points back to belonging, right? Do I belong? If I belong, I feel included. It points back to that. Inclusion is embracing the fact that everyone has value to add. It's not about fitting in. You bring something to the table. You bring something to the table. You bring something to the table. Everybody in here brings things to the table. When you think about ingredients, how we get all this stuff, all these ingredients to bake a cake, and boy, do we make the best cakes. Right? It was all different things that made that cake taste how it did. And that's how I think about all of you in this room. Who are you becoming? So when I was a little girl, and I had said this from time and time again, growing up, I was going to be a television news anchor. I went to UW La Crosse for that. I ain't even doing it. But then I didn't really connect that I was, so in Milwaukee, I won the Martin Luther King Jr. speech contest 4 years in a row. So I was always speaking. I'm a poet. As y'all see, I integrate a lot of that into my motivational speaking. But I also did behind the scenes television production. So I know that if I was to retire, I would probably go and be a news anchor or run camera behind the scene. I got that under my belt. Who I was becoming was what I was always doing. Speaking, including, continuing to become, connecting. Right? And my connections, poetry, started building a platform of motivational speaking. I would probably say within last year and connected to this year, I have probably spoke 1,000 times with both years connected. It's a lot. And I had to tell myself, I need to take a break. I was doing gigs back to back, whether it was poetry, motivational speaking, but I think about how that was connected to television production. Really on camera, talking about the weather, the news. So who are you becoming as you sit in this room? Not tied to your major, your minors, but just as an individual. What impact are you making? That's why I didn't really talk about my titles, because when I leave here, I'm still Kezia. I'm still a daughter. I'm still a mother. I'm still an aunt. Still a sister. Who are you becoming? What are you shaping yourselves to be? Can anybody answer this question right now? Who are you becoming? Who do you want to become? Any brave souls? Come on, freshmen. Yes.
I'm becoming me.
Yes. What does that mean?
To me, it means being the greatest version of myself that I can become.
Yes. I would have said the same thing, class clown. The best version of me. Whatever that looks like. Right? Whatever that looks like. Do you still kind of be like class clowning? Me too. You know, a lot of people in my family say I should have been a comedian. You know, I get it a lot. I got it then. I hear it now. It's just something that stuck with me. And because of my good grades and my academics, I got out. I'm going to share this story with y'all. So I was a good girl in school. And again, I hung with some people that just didn't have academics like me. Again, I don't know how, because I really struggled with comprehension, but somehow I still got good grades. You know, I think it was just, I was involved, connected to people. And so one day my friends was like, Kezia, come and skip and let's just go to the bathroom. All right, I don't want y'all to be judging me, okay? This is back then, okay? I think this was middle school. So I go and I'm like, okay. So then I got some rowdy friends. So back in the day, I don't know how the bathrooms look, but back in my day, we had those little small metal garbage cans. They be making a bunch of noises. So my friends started picking up those garbage cans, throwing them across the bathroom, like boom, 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 right? So I'm like, oh my God, you know, and so then they started making the tissue balls. Who used to make the wet tissue balls? Was that, okay, I got some people that can relate. So we would wet tissue and just throw them up on the ceiling, right? My friends started doing that. I'm just sitting there like, y'all brought me here for this? And so next thing you know, people are running in the bathroom like, security is coming, security is coming. So we all run into stalls. And they're like, get out, boom, 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 banging on the doors. So I went to Milwaukee High School of the Arts in Milwaukee. I was a theater major. So keep in mind, this is middle school, but I was also in forensics in middle school, and I did oratorical, poetry, and I did storytelling. Now, storytelling, I was so dope, it was already theatrical. And so when they opened up the bathroom, my theatrical self got tissue on my nose talking about, oh yeah, I just got hit, man. I don't know what happened. They said, Kezia, get to the office, we're gonna take care of you. All my friends got suspended except for me. Right? I thought they was gonna snitch, but to this day, they hold that against me. Like, you didn't tell the truth. I just came out acting like I had a bloody nose, but it was because of who I was. The good girl, don't ever do nothing, never get in fights, good grades, right? Making the school look good. And I got away by pretending I had a bloody nose and I was a victim. So again, just be included, have fun. You don't have to forget who you are becoming, because we might sometimes need a little bit of that sprinkle of comedian while we get low, right? Tell some stories with people to make them feel live again, y'all. Don't lose who you are, right? Yeah, it's a serious time, but don't lose who you once were. It helps other people to become the best version of themselves as well. All right. So values, I heard that y'all talked a lot. So there were a sheet that went around. I love the sheet. There's a lot of things that I do with my clients with values. Sometimes I'll have my clients circle 25 values, tell them to get rid of 10, get rid of another 10, and narrow it down to 5, and they struggle. Like, wow. What I want y'all to take away with values, and I had to learn this, is how we grow up. So my family was God first, then it's family, academics. And I had to, as I got older, I'm like, oh, my values don't really fit that narrative anymore. Why? Because I became the best version of myself. I started becoming who I truly was. Right? And although some of those values still stick, they probably just aren't number one on my list. Right? So I want y'all to think about these things. What drive you? What are your goals, your dreams? What are you inspired by? What makes you happy? What do you believe in? How do you love? What are your fears, strengths? What's important to you? And start creating. I don't think there was enough sheets. I broke the printer. Hopefully they don't track that back to me. It said, get somebody in there, and I got out. Okay, so ask your teachers, your peers to get y'all a copy. I know that they do have one to get that. It really helps you to remain focused, and it kind of starts showing you who you really are, right, outside of your family. All right, there's some more lists, right? Responsibility. This is a list. This is one of the sheets that I give my clients, and they struggle. This list is long, y'all. This is just half of it, but those are just more values to think about. And on your sheet, something might not be on there, and you might run and write that in. Do that as well. So as we begin to think about the conditions of belonging, it boils down sometimes what I started out with are psychological. Are we safe here? Are there people that we can trust? Right? Remember, we talked about the barriers. We talked about the walls being up. But what are you becoming, and how does this environment look? And how does it affect your psychological conditions? And so those are the things that I want you to be open and aware of as you think about the conditions of just belonging. Is this a trusting community? Do you feel like this is a safe place? The next one is having empathy. That needs to be the center of ourselves, right? Having empathy for people, meeting people where they are. So think about me and my friend here. If me and him was always a class clown, and we come to class one day with our head down, 9 times out of 10, folks ain't gonna really ask us how we doing, right? Because they always see us good. Am I right? I got that a lot in my life, where it was like, oh, Kezia, you always strong, you always goofing off. I didn't even know something was wrong. Those be the main people you really gotta pay attention to, because sometimes I was laughing behind the pain, joking to take my mind off of what was really going on with me internally. Things that was stopping me becoming the best version of myself. Acceptance. Being able to accept people for who they are. Respecting people's past, their present, and their circumstances. Making people feel like they belong here, like they are connected, right? I wonder if y'all saw, I know he on crutches, he, got that, what was the sprain? ACL? Yeah, like who would come down and be like, hey, you need me to carry your books? I need a reason to be late for class, But those little things matter. And I promise you, they go a long way. Pay attention to people that struggle or don't look like us. Sometimes it's just saying, how you doing today? Right? What would you say? Doing well. And then I would say, that's all good, but how your heart doing?
Feeling good and loved.
There you go. I love that, feeling loved. How you doing today? How your heart doing?
Feeling loved.
Yes. You see that? Those are the responses you want. Sometimes, so I sit with clients. I probably see about 40 to 50 clients in a week. And it's heavy. And I've learned when I'm getting them from the waiting area, I'll be like, how you doing today? Because I know it's gonna be like, I'm good. But they know me so much like, I got so much to tell you. Just wait till we get in your office, right? And then when we're sitting down, I'm like, I heard you out there, but where your heart at today? Sometimes I switch it up and say, okay, you said your heart feeling good, you feeling loved. Where are you at mentally?
Getting there.
Getting there, right? Those are some of the cues. And then it would be like connecting to you. Is there anything that I can do to help you get there?
Just support.
All right. Just support. Okay, so I hear that. I don't have your number. Do you mind if I take your number and maybe I could just check in with you?
Sure.
Boom. Connecting. Just like that. And I would probably send her a little meme or something, write a little quote. But I'm telling you, that helped you? That made you feel good? Yes. Y'all just don't know the many people that are sitting in this room that needed that talk right there. Be aware of who you're sitting next to. Be aware of your classmate. And you know what? Even our teachers get weak. They got families. They need to be checked in as well. Okay, connection. That was just a connection. And embracing. I love hugs. I know COVID coming around. I know people getting sick now. But I love to just say, man, did you need a hug today? Some people be like, man, I don't even do hugs, but that sound good. Yeah. Right? It might just, hey, give me a dab, man. Give me a dab. What you need. But embracing each other. Yes, I see y'all. Embrace it. And then I just wish y'all all the best. I hope today that I said something that stuck. I hope that I changed the mindset and the frame and the ways in which you think. But furthermore, when y'all come back from your break, I hope that there is a sense of belonging that you all feel, that you do more to make people feel included, and that you have this sense of connecting and becoming the best version of yourselves. Thank y'all for having me today. Thank you. Okay, that was right on time, y'all. Y'all got 5 minutes for questions if you need. Yes, I can. Thank you.